The Independent National Electoral Commission is expressing concern over the possibility of political violence ahead of the off-cycle elections in Kogi, Bayelsa, Imo, and other states. The commission said although campaigns have just started, there are signs of political clashes among opposing parties and candidates. Now, the INEC Chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, said this at a post-election review with the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. He, however, called on security agencies to be neutral and deal decisively with perpetrators of this crime and other undemocratic offenses. Let's listen to him.
As you are aware, election is a multi-stakeholder activity. Although INEC drives the process, a secure environment for the conduct of peaceful election is the responsibility of the security agencies working in partnership with the Commission. Already there are ominous signs in the form of violent clashes between opposing political parties and candidates. While maintaining strict neutrality, security agencies should be decisive in taking action against purveyors of violence and other undemocratic activities such as vote buying, attacks on election officials, and disruption of the electoral process.
INEC Chairman there, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. Well, joining us to discuss these developing issues, Olayinka Braimoh, who is the governorship candidate of Action Alliance as the AA party. Thank you so much, Braimoh, for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, I want you to talk to us about why the issues of violence seems to be attractive to some political parties and their candidates when we have these elections coming forth. In Kogi State, specifically, we've had this where opposition parties, the SDP, although we haven't heard from yours, the SDP and others crying foul here and there. What exactly do you think is the attraction to the resort to political violence?
Well, what's been happening in Kogi State, every election year, there's always violence. And the primary reason for violence is poverty. Poverty breeds insecurity and violence. And that's why I have a clear message of wealth creation. Because if people are properly engaged, if people are making money, they won't have time. There will not be anybody to recruit for violence. So it's primarily the foundation cause of violence is poverty.
And how are you hoping to change the narrative?
By creating wealth.
When you say by creating wealth, wealth in what format?
All right. The reason why there's poverty in our state is because we don't have enough money in circulation. When you don't have enough money in circulation, that's the reason why people are poor. That's the reason why we have a lot of poor people in the state. Successive administration, from late Prince Abubakar Audu to Governor Idris Ibo to Governor Wada to the present government, poverty has always been on the increase in our state. So when we look at it,
you're talking of both the PDP and APC government,
yes,
or only the PDP government?
The PDP, the APC government, they've been there, and it's clear that they don't have solution to the problem of the state. Our primary problem in Kogi State is poverty, and it's caused by full dependency on federal allocation. The governor that wants to do projects in Kogi State is not able to pay salaries and benefits to all. The one that wants to pay salaries is unable to do projects. That's been the thing with our government in Kogi State, because they depend solely on federal allocation. Last year, IGR was 18 billion for the entire state, 18 billion for a whole year. And the projections for this year is 24 billion. Our budget is 172 billion.
Just by hosting one of the largest cement factories in Nigeria and even West Africa, and then having lots of mineral deposits, including the steel complex and all of that, and its nearness to the federal capital territory. A lot of people will say that some of these dynamics, when you juxtapose it, you will discover that it looks like it's principally the issues of leadership.
That's why I'm running for governor, to be able to make the most of our 29,833 square kilometer land area, to convert this huge land asset to wealth. Our land area is bigger than the entire southeast of Nigeria put together. and our people are extremely poor. So when you look at that population of about 4.4 million people, we are bounded by 10 states with a combined population of about 56 million people. That is a quarter of Nigeria's population.
That's when you talk about the North Central region.
I'm not talking about the North Central. I'm talking about Kogi State. We are surrounded. We are bounded by 10 states. We have boundary, we share boundary with 10 states.
Yeah, I mean.
And we have a combined population. I mean, we have FCT, you have Kwara State, you have Ekiti State, Ondo, Edo, you have Benue, you have Enugu, you have Anambra. Yet our people are poor. That's a huge market out there, where you have access to 56 million people, connected by about 1,172 kilometers of federal roads through our state. We are the gateway between the north and the south.
And you think that wealth creation could actually help reduce the spate of violence. But we're talking about between now and the election. What do we do to ensure that political parties like you don't, instigate, citizens against each other while you're looking for the votes?
Well, we've been campaigning for a while now, purely on issues, talking about the largest constituency in the state, the challenges of a whole lot of poor people. That is the message, issue-based. We've not attacked, we've not insulted any of the other candidates in any way or in any form. And what we enjoy other candidates to do is to just focus on issues without attacking other candidates.
You are from the same place, area with Senator Dino Melaye of the PDP.
Yeah.
Do you think that you stand a chance, considering how PDP and the APC have been playing their politics, and of course with the new entrant, SDP, who, Muria Jaka keeps saying that he's the consensus candidate between the Igala people and Basa people and all of that. Do you think you stand a chance within this mix?
You may wish to ask Senator Dino Melaye this question, if I do, because if I do stand a chance, of course I do. Because none of them has been able to clearly articulate the problems of the state and provide solution to the problems of the state. Our biggest problem is poverty, and wealth creation is the solution.
So how do you intend to do that wealth creation? It's
driving
not just good
flow.
enough to just say it.
You don't have enough money. Yeah, we don't have enough money in circulation. So what do? You drive in cash flow. How do you drive in cash flow? You must exchange product or service for money to come into the economy. Because the prosperity of the state is the aggregate prosperity of the individuals in the state. And how do we intend to do that? Through STAT, solid minerals, tourism, agriculture, and trade. We intend to drive in cash flow from these sources. Solid minerals, it belongs to the federal government. But I understand this industry clearly, from prospecting, licensing, exploration, and exploitation of solid minerals with the legal framework required for strategic partnership.
And how can some of those investors that you may likely want to attract come to Kogi State when, for example, one of the largest investors you already have, Dangote Cement, is crying that the state government is using its powers to intimidate it, and of course they almost shut down
that is the reason why the people need to vote for an entrepreneur that understands wealth creation, that understands the business on how to be able to create wealth, that understands the business.
It's been a long-standing crisis. How will you resolve that issue, for example, between Kogi State government and the Dangote Cement company? Because that issue still remains unresolved, and the Kogi State government seems to think that that's the easiest way to quickly get a huge sum of revenues.
Well, I've not heard anything lately. The last time it was okay, the Kogi State government was going to court and all of that. So I think the issue has been resolved without, of course.
Politically?
I wouldn't know. It's not been made public. So I wouldn't know the status currently.
Okay, so what do you do to ensure that you guarantee investors, if you eventually become a governor, so that people don't, think that when they bring their investment into the state, it could actually, be locked down by some of these issues?
When you have wealth creation as your goal, it means your set objectives will be make money, save money, and grow the economy. That is the level of activities of the government. Will be make money, save money, and grow the economy. So that will encourage any investor to come in, because we need to drive in cash flow into our economy. Like tourism, for instance. I'll give you an example. We have about 100 tourist locations in Kogi State, from Obangogo to Omidam to Oraha in Mopa. Omidam is in Yaba West. We have the Eton Bridge in Olamaboro. We have Mount Patti in Lokoja. We have Agbaja Plateau in Agbaja. We have Usikoko Cave in Kotokarofi. And we have waterfalls at its two in the eastern part of the state. We have the Ohinohi Palace, the museum. We have the Lugard House. We have the European Cemetery, and so many monuments. The first primary school in the northern Nigeria is there in Lokoja. I mean, we have a whole lot of these things. We have spring water in Obangogo. So we have a target to be able to drive in about 2 million visitors into Kogi State in the next 3 to 4 years. When we achieve that, do you know the implication of that? If each tourist spend 100,000 naira in Kogi State, that will be about 200 billion naira cash inflow into our economy. If they stay an average of 5 nights in Kogi State, that will be 10 million nights of hotels and short-let sales in the state. At an average of 100,000 naira per night, that will be about 1 trillion naira cash inflow into our economy. Mind you, we will need to develop about 375,000 square meters of hotels and short-let apartments.
Yeah, but why hasn't that been done in the past? Because, I mean, this same Kogi State is where we have the, I mean, it's called the confluence state, because, I mean, the River Niger and Benue all, you know, pour into the state.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of historical links with Nigeria's past and all of that. Why hasn't it been so attractive to the governments that we've had?
Visionary leadership. Visionary leadership.
Because, I mean, people keep wondering
that is
Governor Yaya Bello, a young person just like you, is completing his 8-year, I mean, 4-year term of 2 terms. And it looks like people are saying that when it comes to, you know, gauging the governance index, it looks like his performance is actually, you know, it's something that's questionable. And it's making people to think that young people are not so much good in governance the way they seem to say before they get into power.
Well, I don't think it's about age. I don't think it's about whether being young or being old. I think it's about visionary leadership. You know, your mental capacity, your vision. Because when you have vision, your energy moves in the direction of your vision. And that's why we're saying that for everyone that is contesting, let the people ask, what's your vision? Do you have a clear vision for the state? You must understand what the problem is. Propose solution. This is what to do and how to do. What I'm telling you right now is what to do and how to do. So it's not about age. It's about having the relevant experience in times of governance.
And what do you think about this outgoing government
in Kogi State?
Yes.
It's the same like the others. Dependence on federal allocation.
Okay.
Which is the reason why our people are poor.
One other issue that may likely count against you is the issues of ethnicity. I mean, we've seen ethnic politics being played. I mean, it's being put on the display out there. The Kogi East people, majorly the Igalas, who are the dominant tribe there, haven't held on to power for some time. And just when they thought that the APC may likely throw in the ticket to their own side, someone emerged from Kogi Central again. That's Ododo. And people are saying that, I mean, it's going to be a huge battle. And then the PDP's candidate is from Kogi West, and you are from Kogi West and all of that. People are saying that it's going to be a sort of very controversial election that's ahead of us. And the APC has incumbency, but the Action Alliance is almost not so much known. So how are you going to ensure that your party is well known before then, so that your ideas, I mean, don't get to fail on election day?
Analyzed it. You know, there's a crisis in APC. You know, bringing the candidate from the central. The
same zone with the outgoing
exactly.
governor.
The crisis is there in APC. Then you have the PDP crisis. You know, a candidate emerged and people started leaving the party. That's the crisis in PDP. They need an alternative. The solution to the state. The issue of ethnicity is being driven by politicians. Ethnicity and religion. It has not helped us thus far. So we have the biggest, the largest constituency. That's the constituency of the poor people. Hunger knows no tribe. knows no religion. So a lot of our people in Kogi State are poor. And that's the message we're giving them. Wealth creation, we want to put monies in their pocket by creating the enabling environment for them to make money and come out of this poverty by driving in cash flow. I'll give you an example. In our start agenda, agriculture, we intend to train 100,000 farmers on regenerative agriculture. Allocate to them 1 hectare of land each with C of O. When you issue C of O, what are you doing? You are creating instrument for funding. That's what we intend to do.
But as beautiful as your ideas are, you need a political party that's well popular with the people. And that's why I'm asking you, that the Action Alliance is not well known.
It's not well known.
But how do you think that you can popularize the party so that, I mean, it will be a party that can challenge the PDP, the APC, and the SDP?
We are doing that right now. As at last week, I've done over 100 town hall meetings in the state. And going into this week, we are going ahead with our town hall meetings. By the end of August, we would have completed our town hall meetings across the entire local government of the state. We are engaging the people because the challenge is that our peoples might have been so decimated over time, over the period, and they have lost hope of a possibility of a transformation coming into our state. And that's why we're engaging them through town hall meetings. We've been doing that.
Any plans for going into some sort of coalition with any other political party, or maybe even having them step down for you, some of these other political parties?
A couple have been reaching out to us, you know, in order to be able to collaborate with us, because they've seen the clear vision that we have, which is the vision of wealth creation for our people. And a couple of them have actually submitted to that this is a superior objective goal for our state, you know, and we're hoping that in the next few weeks, like the PDP candidates, the ADC candidates, I'm trusting that they will see the light.
Yeah,
and they will come to the light.
Yourself, the AA, the ADC, and PDP.
Yeah, they will see the light.
You're all coming from the same area, Kogi West.
Yeah, they will see the light.
Talk to us about Leke Abejide. Shouldn't you and him maybe could have gone into a partnership, because, yeah, maybe it's difficult to ask Dino to step down for you, but maybe both of you could have reached some sort of agreement so that you don't lose votes. And in the whole essence, if 3 of you are coming from Kogi West, and then you have someone from Kogi East and then Kogi Central, don't you think that the votes of Kogi West may be shared among 3 of you, and then you lose to the Kogi West or
I'll tell you
Kogi East or Kogi Central?
I represent one power shift. That is power shift from poverty to prosperity. And that cuts across the entire state. I've had a session today with people from the East, youths from the East, earlier today, you know, sharing the vision. And I have a whole lot of them buying into this vision because poverty knows no tribe. So the issue of, I'm not championing any ethnic agenda. I'm championing the agenda to move our people out of poverty.
Even if
that's the Kogi State agenda.
Even if the elders in the state call on you, maybe, or even Kogi West ask you and Leke Abejide, for example, to step down for Dino Melaye, would you be having a think towards that? Or maybe if they are asking someone else to step down for you, don't you think it could help consolidate your chances in the election? That's what I'm saying.
Our elders are smart people. Our elders are knowledgeable and they are smart people. I trust that they will make the right decision on who to back for the governorship of the state, if truly they have the interest of the state at heart. And I trust and I believe that they have the interest of the state at heart, and they will come out to support the candidate. Because the question I keep asking is this: what is the ultimate goal? Is it just producing a governor from your area? The fact that you have a governor, I mean, they've had this for 19 years. Poverty is there. In Central, the governor is going to 8 years. There's poverty in Central. In the West, there's poverty. There's poverty everywhere in the state. You know, so I trust that they will make the right decision to back the candidate that has the clearest vision that will help our state out of poverty, get our people out of poverty into prosperity.
And you think that candidate is you?
Obviously.
Okay. How much of a threat do you think is Usman Ododo, who is the APC governorship candidate, considering the incumbency powers, both at federal and state levels, that may be at his purview.
Votes are counting. Beavers is working. He has not come out to tell us what he's going to do for our people. He has not come out for any town hall meeting. I've not seen him on any TV saying what he wants to do or what he intends to do for the people of the state. So how do you win an election that way? Relying on federal might or states in power of incumbency in the state? The governor is on his way out. He's going. So the reality is this. People are going to come out to vote. Votes are counting in Nigeria. So it's no longer a case of there's any power of incumbency anywhere. You're not going to force people to vote for you. So it's not a factor, sincerely speaking.
And you think that of the PDP, Dino Melaye, ADC, Lekan Abejide, or that of the SDP, Muria Jaka, they are not threats, formidable threats to you? And what are you doing to ensure that these
people you are mentioning, I'm going to win them in their ward.
Interesting.
Yes. I'm telling you confidently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll continue to count on the Independent National Electoral Commission to ensure that the elections are free, fair, and credible. But what do you do to ensure that you commit to a violent, free election?
We've been engaging and we've been interfacing with other candidates as well, reaching out, for us to just focus on issues as against inciting statements and all of that could lead to violence. We need to understand that the greater goal is for people. I mean, you don't have to kill people because you want to serve them. Why will you have to create a situation, that someone will need to get injured, someone will need to die because you want to lead the people? It's service. We are looking for jobs. So, I mean, the people that are supposed to decide whether they will hire you or not, why will you want to kill them? Why will you want them to kill them?
Do you think that Kogi State is ready for a Yoruba-speaking governor?
It's obvious.
Okay.
When I say it's obvious, it's not just a function of Yoruba-speaking governor.
I'm asking this because we've had, Igalas, it's been the turn of Iberas, and now people are asking if indeed Kogi State can produce a Yoruba-speaking governor to actually see if they can balance the contentious ethnic makeup of the state.
Will produce. Kogi State is ready for that, and Kogi State will produce a governor from the Yoruba extraction of the state. And my reasons are these. When you look at the situation currently, people feel like, oh, somebody from East, they've been there. People from East have been there, from Central. Okay, let us try, someone from Kogi West to see what will be done differently. And obviously, I come with that message. Something different. We've had 4 governors over 2 decades. Same problem of poverty because of dependency on federal allocation. And we're coming with a message of hope that this dependency of federal allocation will not help us. For instance, my last T on my start, it's trade. We are the gateway between the North and the South. Southerners pass through our state to go to the north to markets in Zamfara, Sokoto, Kano. Northerners pass through our states to go to Abat, go to Onitsha, go to Lagos. So what we intend to do is to turn Kogi State to a trade hub, a trade center. Everything you need to get from the south will be available in Kogi State for you. Everything you need from the north will be available in Kogi State for you. We cut short your trip and you come in and dump your money and go with your goods. Remember, you have to exchange goods or services for money to come in. We have to drive in cash flow into our economy to take our people out of poverty.
Well, 46 years old Olayinka Braimoh is a successful entrepreneur, governorship candidate of the Action Alliance, and we're all hoping that you play politics without bitterness and ensure that the fears of the INEC National Chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, do not come to pass, as he has asked security agencies to ensure that those of you who are the candidates who foment trouble have to be dealt with. And it's good to know that you're committing to a violence-free poll. That's what we'll be asking of other candidates. And the floor is open here at Arise News for you to come and talk to us about how you would commit to ensuring that the elections on November 11 do not become problematic for citizens so that people in not just Kogi State, but of course Imo, Bayelsa and all of that, all come out to exercise their voting franchise when the elections eventually hold. And we must thank you so much for being on the program with us, Olayinka, Braimoh. And that's how it's been on this edition of This Week with me, Somna Sambo here. And we thank you immensely for staying with us up until this moment. Until we come your way again, see you next week.